How's it going? I'm trying my first multi-stream right here, right now. I'm gonna be archiving so many TikToks. They're all gonna be right here. All the good ones, at least, you know? So I'm pulling this up on my phone, make sure I am in fact multi-streaming. Stream manager. Live. Home. Am I not on my YouTube output? Oh, there I am. Alright, let's go. Don't do that. I hope the chat is shared, but let's start archiving some TikToks. This was today. We're starting from as new as possible. And in the future, this is a pretty good milestone to figure out where I started, if I have any new TikToks I like between now and January 19th. This one's pretty memorable to remember, oh yeah, this is where I fucking started. But anyways, here's the first TikTok.
Teach a man to fish. You feed him for a lifetime. Teach a fish to man. And if you teach a fish to man, catch a man a fish.
It's a good start. All right, let's go.
I think your lisp is cute. Don't listen to that man. Say 7 sizzling sausages sizzling in a saucepan. You got this. I believe in you. Don't flop this. The way you done this.
Say 7 sizzling sausages sizzling. And you went to the stoppers.
I think your lisp is cute. Don't listen to that man. Say 7 sizzling sausages sizzling in a saucepan.
It's good.
For someone who doesn't believe, how would you explain to them what a God is? And why should they believe in him? If you don't mind me asking.
I forgot I have some pretty long ones on here.
Do you believe in a God, right?
No.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever considered to ask yourself what it is you believe in?
I mean, I just believe that there's a God above us who created us perfectly just to live in like his will and his desire.
Okay.
And
Why? Because someone told you to?
I mean, I've heard it from others, yeah, but it's something different like than just hearing from others. It's like me coming to myself and realizing like I'm imperfect, but it's also important to realize that God knows that and he uses us in every way to make us more perfect. Everything.
But someone who doesn't believe in a God and doesn't believe in those things, how would you convince them? I mean, I don't believe in a God. What can you say to convince me that maybe what you're saying has some validity to it?
No, these are going to be
Yeah,
entirely
the
worst
Bible
archiving, to be
says
honest.
Bible's written by a bunch of men. It was edited over time. Books were swapped out and stuff like that. So why should I believe
I do
in
agree with
it?
this guy's message, but we got funny TikToks. This is more for the funny TikToks. I appreciate these TikToks. And that guy like.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name's Officer Smith. I'm with Nashville Airport Police.
I end up a lot on the webcam side of TikTok. The body cam side of TikTok. But this woman,
saying that they
she might have taken some drugs before getting on this flight or something. That's me giving benefit to the doubt here.
want you off of their aircraft.
Why is that?
I don't know. They just said that you were refusing to get off their aircraft after they asked you to get off.
Right, they didn't give me a reason why I needed to get off. They told me that they were going to talk to me outside, as if they didn't inform me why they were going to, hold on, let me catch my breath. I'm like, I don't understand why there's so many people, like, on top of me.
Okay,
Like, this is
have you had any...
These two girls cracking the fuck up 2 rows back is something I did not notice. I noticed this woman across the aisle is just fucking dead inside. And then the dude behind her is...
anything to drink today?
No, I keep asking for water. They didn't give me water. They told me that the plane was delayed. I just want water.
Okay, have you had any alcohol today?
No, I'm
Okay.
on a sabbatical.
Okay. Okay, so do you mind stepping off the aircraft and they can talk? My name is Officer Smith,
I'm
yes.
sorry. You see, at think it's important that people call you by your first name.
You can call me by my first name. That's fine.
Thank you.
Do you mind stepping off the aircraft? We can figure out what's going on.
Let me know. I'm going home, so I need to know why I'm getting off the plane.
So they're a private company. They're allowed to refuse you service on their aircraft. So
anytime a private company, like a business?
Yes, they're a business, so they're allowed to refuse you service.
Like capitalism?
Okay. So if you do not get off the plane, we are going to deboard the entire plane, and we will pull you off of the plane.
You're going to pull the... I have to set my intention, and I have to breathe. Stay calm. Stay calm.
So,
stay calm.
I don't know what's going on. Like I said, they didn't tell me what the problem is. So if you will get up and just walk off.
Anyway, this is for archiving purposes. Once again, I think I've got enough of a description from this video to look it up later, you know? She does end up making a huge scene, and it's very unfortunate. But let's move on.
Hey, big girl. You want daddy to picture me? Oh, this daddy.
That's a bit much. I don't think people are that playful when they're vacuuming, but you know, I love
people's description of what heaven is sounds like the joy you get in heaven is the joy you get from having a lobotomy. Because there's no way you can be fully aware of what is going on and be happy in this forever afterlife. You're telling me that you're fully aware that the person you're worshiping for eternity is burning billions of people while you're up in heaven just having a good time. Chances are you know some of those people or you love some of those people. God either has to take away that empathy from you and take away your humanness, or I question if you're a little bit psychotic and you just like don't care about those things as long as you're having a good time. A lot of times people describe it, oh, I'm not going to remember them. God's going to take that away from me. So God is going to give you a lobotomy, and you're doing that willingly, and you think that's like a good afterlife, to be lobotomized as long as you're feeling joy. I just feel like this paradise that's always talked about does not sound like paradise at all, unless God does a little bit of work up there. People's
Preach it. Fucking love that.
My understanding is that 60 to 65 or higher, you're probably on the spectrum somewhere. And anything below that, you're probably not.
I'm gonna be below it. I know it.
Oh my God. Hassan, I got 35.
What does that mean?
Oh my God. That
Did I ace the test? No,
is
dude.
such a high score.
I'm not autistic. I'm not.
That is
not.
such.
It's just like, that's so dumb.
I need to take that test. I don't know. I think it's better not knowing in some circumstances.
How to respond to disrespect. Number one, give it about 10 seconds of nothing. Don't say a word. Make them sit all by themselves with what they just said. And in those 10 seconds, they're going to be thinking to themselves, wait, why isn't it working? Wait, this is not how I thought it would go. Because by you not giving them what they want, they're going to look exposed. They're going to feel vulnerable, awkward, alone. And you're going to look in control. Number two, turn commands into questions. They're much more powerful. For example, instead of, you can't speak to me that way, it's, when did I give you the impression it's okay to say that to me? Instead of, you can't disrespect me, it's, do you treat everybody this way? Or are you just asking me to tolerate it? And number three, my personal favorite, once their words settle down, say, that's below my standard for a response. It's saying,
buddy, out. Sorry. Lay down. My dog isn't allowed in my room because it's my cat's safe space. Sometimes he's not even 2 yet, but Sometimes he just walks in and they get
What you
stuff
just
like
said
that.
is beneath me, and I will pay it no mind. And that's what to say to handle disrespect. So try that, but follow me. How to...
So, I'm an American living and working in Germany, and I had a little bit of a mentee B, and I got put on antidepressants, and I just picked them up today. So, I'm an American.
I remember
living
liking that.
and working in Germany.
That's funny.
So I recently graduated from UCLA with a bachelor's degree in philosophy, and I studied philosophy because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, but it has had some negative impacts on my life, and one of those things is that I feel like I have no authority to speak on anything anymore. Quick little history lesson in philosophy. Pre-Socratics are called the Pre-Socratics because they came before Socrates, because everything after Socrates changed. And what Socrates was really well known for was he would have these discussions with people and he would ask them very simple things like, what is love to a poet? Or he would ask a general, what does courage or bravery mean? Or he would ask a politician, what makes a good society? These sorts of things. And then he would come to find that people, or even experts in their field, really had no answer for what these things were and had any idea of what they were talking about. He was able to prove that their authority on any given subject was really meaningless, and any idea could be challenged and proved wrong. And this kind of changed philosophy forever onwards. Now, when I first started studying philosophy, I felt really smart. I felt like I was a smart person, and I was just continuing to become wiser by learning from people before me that were smarter than me. Then I came to realize that no matter how much I learned, I was always going to be full of shit. And I was never going to be able to speak on anything with authority because no matter how much I knew, I really didn't know anything. But I kind of want to just make this video as a warning for anybody who is about to study philosophy. You might have like...
I took one fucking semester of philosophy. Fucked me up and now I have imposter syndrome.
Before we make a decision, I just want to make sure that all toys are on the same page here. Every toy in this bedroom has a voice. I don't want anyone to go unheard. Before we make a decision,
That's like a Vine. Is that a Vine? Did I miss that in the Vine era? I don't know. It's good. I love it.
How is it a right? This is a very, very interesting comment. Healthcare has not been around since the beginning of time. However, the start of civilization is marked by the first broken bone in an elderly person. Anthropologist Margaret Mead cites the start of civilization is when we started taking care of our sick and elderly. A skeleton was found with a broken bone, a severely broken bone that happened when a person was young. But the skeleton was of an older person, meaning this person was healed, taken care of for the rest of their life as a handicapped person, as somebody who was a burden on the people around them. So no, healthcare has not been around since the dawn of time, but healthcare has been around, according to contemporary anthropological beliefs, since the very moment that civilization starts. How we take care of our sick is a mark of being civilized.
Two choices. Person one, right here, it can split out. They can choose blue or red, right?
The Matrix.
In this, right, yeah. In this universe, the person has the choice. They can choose one or two. The future is unknown. It's totally up to them. They have every opportunity to pick either the blue 1 or red 2, right? This is gonna freak you out. Same person, same choices. But I'm gonna add one different thing here. In this second iteration of the universe, there is God. And God knows the future. And God knows that person is going to pick red. Can person make God wrong?
No.
Okay, so person is going to pick red. Can person pick 1 if God knows they're going to pick red?
Ooh, I get you. Ooh.
Can they? Can they prove God wrong?
No.
So now this is gone. In this universe, there is one choice. What's the difference between this one and this one? When you add God to the equation, free will goes away. You have to follow the path. Free will is maybe possible until you add an all-knowing God. Then it's over. I'm going to clip the fuck out of this. I've been thinking about this drawing all week.
You're right.
This creator is arguing that we already live in a dystopia because somebody like this can go from talking about oral to scamming people with a made-up currency that nobody understands. Our politicians are reality TV stars, and if you want, you can escape to a fake reality anytime you choose. He doesn't tell us why this is happening, so I want to fill that gap. This is what the philosopher Jean Baudrillard calls the procession of simulacra, and it explains pretty much everything that's just been mentioned. Culture is a series of signs. When I'm speaking to you, I'm referring to things. On one model, I'm referring to what's in my mind. In another, I'm referring to things actually existent in the world. Now, we begin by signs directly referring to things, in this case, raspberries. But as time goes on, the reference gets distilled. We refer not to the basic reality itself, but to some distortion or perception of reality. In this case, a blue raspberry essence or flavoring. But as we've consumed this blue raspberry flavoring, we know it's not the real deal, but we still crave it. So we make a new sign that refers to the absence of that reality, the actual raspberry. Finally, consuming and referring to things that are 2 orders removed from reality, we make something that's even further removed, that does not refer to reality at all. But how does that explain Haley Welch? Well, Baudrillard explains social reality this way. If we tried to organize a fake holdup, there'd be no real way to do it. Even if we wanted to make sure that there was no real danger, that the weapons were fake, we would inevitably be caught up in the signs of the real. From the outside, for the cops and the media, there'd be no objective difference between our fake holdup and a real one. The gestures and signs would be the same. And from the outside looking in, there's no real difference between her and a real celebrity. From the outside looking in, there's no real difference between this guy and a real politician. From the outside looking into the goggles, there's no difference between the virtual reality and the real one. Our culture has become confused between these virtual references, these simulacra, and direct references to reality. Or has it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. This creator is arguing
3 quick comebacks that keep your integrity. Number 1, ask the question, how do you feel when you say that? How do you feel when you say that? This is great for when somebody's made a comment that insults you, meant to embarrass you, or hurt you. Number 2, I'm surprised you said that out loud. I'm surprised you said that out loud. This is useful for when somebody's made an inappropriate comment or is pressing on a sensitive topic. And number 3, begin your response with, did you mean for that to sound? This is one of my favorite pieces of advice that I give because it's so adaptable to just about anything. Did you mean for that to sound hurtful? Did you mean for that to sound rude or offensive or short? When you ask that question, it gives them a second chance. It allows them to either clarify, change, or address what they said without you even having to give a response. And those are some easy comebacks that still maintain your integrity.
Sorry, some of these are just self-helpy stuff I need to remember. I do want this to be a lot of funny shit, but we'll get to it. Having people over for board games every time just devolves into talking. It's great.
Batman beats Iron Man. I mean, do they both have prep time? Sure. Not a chance. Not a chance that Batman beats Iron Man? Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's no need to even explain this, but King Lion got it.
Are you really going to be okay with unaliving about 1 million babies a year? Because women don't want to take responsibility for that baby. Could have had a chance to live in this country.
You know what?
And she's
But you know what's so interesting about people like you? You see, you guys are pro-birth, but you're not pro-life.
Oh no, that is the most ignorant statement they make.
100% it is, because the second that child is born, you're against helping that mother go and get diapers for her kid. You're against giving her $6 a day to go and put food on the table. You're against helping that little kid get a slice of pizza at lunch every single day because you're against school lunch. The second that kid maybe needs to be able to go off and get a refuge and play sports or be able to go to college on their own, you're against helping them get the scholarship and the Pell Grants they need to go to school. So don't tell me anything about what you care about children, because you guys support defunding every aspect of that child's life. Every aspect of it.
Why don't you go talk to Lincoln Riley?
You can't stay focused. Look at this, because everything your party supports is against children. You're the anti-children party. You're the anti-family party, because you're against mothers, you're against single mothers, you're against health care for children, you're against school lunch for children, you're against everything a child needs to survive. Everything. But you have the audacity to stand on here and say that you're pro-life, to say that you're pro-family. It is the most
Staying on business.
insane perversion of reality I've ever seen. And it's
I know how I feel about this. Imagine marrying into this family. And curious how they voted.
Nobody ever rounded up all the kids with ADHD and said, hey, time doesn't flow for you like it does for other people. In your world, there are only two moments, now and not now. That's it. That's the whole timeline. Now is this instant right here. The coffee growing cold on your desk, the deadline breathing down your neck, dishes with yesterday's pasta sauce hardening as we speak. Not now? That's everything else. Your best friend's wedding next month? Not now. That doctor's appointment keep forgetting to schedule? Not now. That parking ticket quietly maturing into a financial crisis? Definitely not now. But then comes the crash. You know that feeling when you suddenly remember something huge at 3 a.m.? That's our entire life. Only the suddenly remember part happens when something explodes from not now into now, with the grace of a piano falling from a third-story window. Like that big presentation that's due soon. For 3
Chris, darling, what do you do?
A lot of things.
A lot of things. Okay, but none you can tell me about. Are they illegal things, Chris?
It's really hard to explain.
They're hard to explain. Is it because they're illegal? Okay, just try to explain. Pretend I'm an intelligent person. Just pretend maybe I'm a man, okay? Does that
Environmental restoration.
Environmental restoration. So you didn't think I knew what either of those words meant? I don't care for Chris. Chris, darling.
You may have heard a couple weeks ago, Shaun White snowboarded down Mount Everest, hiked up and snowboarded down to do his last hurrah before retirement. Well, Johnny Mosley, the skier, the Iron Cross genius, said, nope, snowboarders, you ain't going to have that on us. So he hiked up as well, but a Sherpa carried him part of it, so he might not be able to count it. But he was like, I'm going to be not only the first skier to go down Mount Everest, but I'm going to go be the first skier or snowboarder to ski through a crevice. So he entered this one, and the people with him said they didn't know if it was going to lead and have an exit. But Johnny Mosley's like, I'm older than Shaun White. I've been retired longer from the snow sports arena. And so if I don't get out of this, then I don't get out of it. But luckily, at the end of it, you can see there was light at the end of the tunnel and a natural jump at the end of it. You can see he's doing some skid turns and some shifts, but there he goes. He does a Lincoln log flip trick stunt. So way to go, Johnny Mosley. You may have heard a couple weeks ago, Shaun White snowboarded down Mount.
Wild.
People with ADHD have tiny windows of tolerance.
I do question how the fuck they got some of that footage if, like, alright.
People with ADHD have tiny windows of tolerance. This is according to Dr. Tamara Rosier, and I'm coming at you hot from the ADHD 2024 conference with some information about it. What is the window of tolerance? It is the optimal state of being. We're present, we're engaged, we're alert, able to be creative and connected and safe. And this is generally a place that not a lot of ADHDers get to access on a regular basis. That's because a lot of times we are either up in hyperarousal or down in hypoarousal. Hyperarousal is like it sounds. We're hyper alert, and it might feel like there's too much energy coming out of us or like we just don't care. This is when fight or flight is activated and big feelings like anger or emotional outbursts are going to come out. Hypoarousal, on the other hand, is a shut down response. This is like that lack of motivation place where you're feeling exhausted, slow, disconnected from others, and when you're having that like freeze response. Most of us lean toward one or the other, the hyper or the hypo. And some of us will find that we might be hanging out in that hyper arousal, that like danger activation zone, and then we're there so long and it takes so much energy from us, and then we go to the hypo arousal. Anytime you're not in that window of tolerance, you are emotionally dysregulated. And yes, if you're wondering, window of tolerance is wider for people who are neurotypical. Luckily, it's possible to increase your window of tolerance, but it does take regular work by finding a nervous system balancing routine and working on it consistently.
Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks. Lick on these nuts and suck that dick. Get the fuck out after you're done, then I hops in my coupe and run. Bitches ain't shit.
I've got a controversial opinion on trans women in sports. I think trans women in sports are a conspiracy by the sports lobby to trick trans people into caring about sports. I thought the whole point of becoming queer was I'd never have to talk about football again. You've tricked me somehow! You and Lineker, you... He's deep state, he's in the pocket of Big Chris. They really think they've got us nailed on sports. Oh, look at these trans women, they're so good at throwing, they've got an unfair physical advantage. I thought the whole point of sports was someone has an unfair physical advantage. No, it's not my scene, but is it someone's born with good knees and then they win, right? If I'm in a race with Usain Bolt, I'm not standing there like, well, this isn't fair, he can run faster than me. That's sports! One person wins! 99% of professional sports players are losers for a living, and I don't...
Oh, what happened?
36 exhaust happened.
36? Oh, wow.
How many? 36.
We done the same. Oh, the same map?
You thought this was going to be a different video, I bet. Be honest. I did. This is a whole different issue. Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself part of the family. If I'm being honest, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I could do this. I do. I really do. I wish I could just turn off, I assume, 99% of my brain and just put my head in the tailpipe and laugh and giggle and enjoy my life. Just going, hell yeah, brother. What's a tomorrow?
Today marks not just the birth of our new republic, but the birth of a new world. A better world. Fuck the poor. Fuck the poor! Fuck the poor! Fuck the poor! Today marks not just the birth of our new republic, but the birth of a new world. A better world. Fuck the poor! Fuck the...
I'm in love with that one.
Okay, so what's the plan? We are going to sit here in silence, focusing on our inner life and how we can bring virtue into a corrupt world. Because that's what we do. It's stoicism. Oh, but they look like they're having fun. Okay, so what's the plan?
Okay, so I decided to read the Bible, and I could not even get through the first book of Genesis without being like, I need to talk about this. So here begins my series of me recapping the Bible for you. We start off heavy. They really come in swinging, saying that women suck and they are destined to suffer and they need to obey men. Obviously, we all know that this comes from Adam and Eve. She sucks because she picked the apple, whatever. But they lost me as quickly as they got me. I immediately felt like this book isn't for me. But I'm going to keep going. It is the most famous book in the world, so I'm going to give it a chance. Next, we kind of brush over how mankind was created. It goes by really fast, and I just feel like there's more explanation needed. Also, they're saying that everybody's like 900 years old. I tried to figure out why this was, what this meant. Couldn't find an explanation. If you know why everybody is 900 years old in the Bible, please tell me.
Oh, it's there.
I think the story of Noah's Ark is hilarious when I'm actually reading it from the Bible itself. I can't believe that God created all these people. Like, he really did his work and then was like, actually, I messed this up. Like, you guys are bad. You're sick. You're twisted. I need to just start over, so I'm just gonna flood it. And Noah, you're like, okay, so I'm gonna let you stick around and you can be responsible for it. But then pretty much immediately following Noah's Ark, Noah discovers how to make wine. Thank you. Love that. But he gets wasted. Noah gets blackout drunk and passes out naked. And something that doesn't make sense to me, and I'm realizing that there's like not a lot of explanations in the Bible, is that he gets drunk and his son comes and finds him passed out naked and goes and gets his brothers. His brothers come and like don't look at Noah but cover him up, and the next morning Noah's like, Canaan, you're a little, and I'm gonna curse you and all of your descendants forever because you embarrassed me. And I'm like, that's a classic case of projection. Noah needs to like go to therapy or something, because cursing your son because you got drunk and passed out naked, tale as old as time. I'm gonna go over this quickly. They talk about circumcision. It needs to be on the 8th day after the child's born, whatever. I don't get why that's an agreement between man and God. I don't understand why that's significant to the relationship. It's male genital mutilation. We should have left that behind. That's archaic. I can't believe it's still a common practice. I get it, but it just doesn't make a lick of sense. Okay. Also, something that's hilarious that God does is just like change people's names. So now we have Abraham and Sarah, but originally their names were Abram and Sarai, and God just comes in and is like, I actually don't like your names. Your names are Abraham and Sarah now. I'm changing them, and I hope you learn to live with it. Very funny. Then he comes to Abraham and Sarah and is like, you guys need to have a kid. I know that you're old, but I need you to have a kid right now. And Sarah even laughs at him and she's like, God, I'm truly a bag of bones. I can't breastfeed. Won't he do it? They had Isaac. Now we kind of diverge to another story that I don't understand, which is that similar to Noah's Ark, there's a town full of evil people, blah, blah, blah. God wants to kill him, but he saves Lot. Lot and his family go to a mountain, and both of his daughters are like, we need to preserve our lineage, so we're gonna get our dad really drunk and we're gonna lay with him. And 2 nights in a row, they sleep with their dad, and then they get pregnant by their dad. And then like we sort of don't follow that story. Maybe we'll come back to it later on. Like I said, I'm only halfway through book 1, so there's more to come, but I don't understand. God didn't come to them and say, like, you need to sleep with your dad. I don't get it. Can't believe people love this book. Enough said. My favorite thing that is very funny is that, so basically Abraham goes into a town and is like, Sarah is so hot that people are gonna kill me if they think that she's my wife in order to get with her. Sarah, original baddie down. And God goes to Abraham and is like, bro, you cannot keep telling people that Sarah is your sister. Like, they keep trying to sleep with her, and I'm gonna have to smite them because they're trying to lay with another man's wife. Please stop telling people. And he's like, Abraham, like, low-key checks God and is like, actually, she is my sister. She's my half-sister. So while she's my wife, she's also my sister, so I didn't lie. And God is like, touche, real, just stop saying it, please. I don't want it. And then something that's weird is that Abraham and Sarah's son, Isaac, ends up marrying, I spelled her name wrong, ends up marrying this girl named Rebecca. Same thing. Isaac goes into a town and is like, Rebecca's my sister. And even the guy that he tells this to is like, she's obviously not your sister. Like, you're not acting like brother and sister. I don't know why that was a common thing, but I find it very, very funny. And the last thing is Abraham sacrificing Isaac. I can't really get into it, but I'm like, are we in the mob? Like, God is acting about loyalty like Teresa Giudice. I don't understand why he's putting people through these tests to prove how loyal they are. Very weird behavior. Very jealous. I guess he's a jealous God. So that's my recap of part 1 of Genesis. I'll come back with part 2. This is my Bible.
No,
Don't do policy. Who let a woman talk in here? Nobody. Listen, you gotta shut up. I'm gonna be your supreme leader the next 20 years, okay?
One more monarchy.
So you better keep it yapped up, shut up, and keep down here, shut up as well.
Grab her by the vocal cords.
She said no politics.
Never let her talk like that ever again, please. Thank you.
You can shut up too. You can shut up too. You can shut up. You go ahead and sit down. You're gonna try to out-Trump me right now. It's number 2. You can shut up. You go ahead.
A couple years ago, I got a tattoo that more than one person was like, are you sure that you want that to be on your body forever? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay someone money to ink that into my skin for all of eternity. It says, we gladly feast on those who would subdue us. It's an Addams Family reference, first of all. And second, I think it's aging like a fine, fine wine. But that's just me.
Love that.
It takes 2 to make a baby. Why does only 1 get to decide if it's born?
If it takes 2 to make a baby. Firstly, why are you so red? You may, good sir, want to go and get your blood pressure checked. And secondly, well done you. You figured it out, that it takes 2 to tango. Gold star, old chap. But it isn't you, man, that has to then carry said baby inside of them for 9 whole months, accepting the potential risks and complications that come along with that. And also it's then not you that has to push said baby out of bodily orifice, also accepting the potential complications and risks that come along with that also. So to me, good sir, it makes perfect sense why only 1 of 2 people should get to decide. Maybe just think a little before you open your mouth in future. And I do hope that you didn't choke on your food, because that would have been a great shame.
I want to meet somebody where I can fall in love, but I feel like I'm not sticky anymore. Okay, let me explain myself. Okay.
I'm with you.
So just hear my theory here.
Okay, let's say what's your
My
theory?
friend said, right, there was a girl that I was seeing, and she was like, yeah, your sticker has no more stick. And I go, what do you mean? And this is what she said. Okay, imagine yourself as a Scotch tape, right? And a piece of paper is every time you hook up with a girl or you're dating, right? So then you undo it, right? But you, right, have had 1,000 stick, you know what I mean, right? And it's no longer sticky.
Wow.
What?
That is
And I go, well, I want to get back to the stick. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I find that
that's by the way, super powerful analogy.
Are you being real?
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Because what I find is in my early 20s, when I first started dating, I remember being more in love, more mesmerized by a woman, right? And going, oh my, and those feelings of like being in a pink cloud, you know, and all that. And that's dead to me. That's doggone. You know what I mean? I get like, I wonder what she looks like naked kind of excitement, but it's like, you know, that the magical feelings I used to have are completely gone. So I'm trying to get my stick back, bro. I want to meet somebody where I can.
So nobody finds it interesting that Moana goes looking for her ancestors that are connected to the sea and she comes back with Negro.
Hello, my friend. How could Moana have African-appearing ancestors if she's meant to be Polynesian? This is an understandable mistake, but the people depicted in Moana 2 are not meant to be African, but instead Melanesians. While the Melanesian appearance shares a lot in common with the appearance of populations in Africa, they're actually further genetically to Africans than Europeans are. The story of Moana is rooted in the history of the Austronesian migration. Around 4,000 years ago, it's understood that Austronesian-speaking people began their voyages from Taiwan, moving across the islands of Southeast Asia. As they sailed, parts of their population settled in islands they crossed, developing into the populations of Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, to name a few. They eventually sailed across the Pacific Ocean, and some even reached Madagascar, leading to the people of Madagascar today. It's the part of the migration where they started sailing across the Pacific Ocean that explains what you saw in the movie, as well as why Polynesians tend to appear physically different than their Indonesian or Filipino cousins. The Austronesians that sailed towards the Pacific began interacting with the Melanesians, who today remain residing in the islands of Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, and Fiji. Over thousands of years, these groups remained interacting with each other, trading goods, ideas, and even genetics.
Here's the Jurassic Park music going on in the background. Thought we wouldn't notice.
I'm in front of the Hilton where one of the CEOs of United Healthcare was gunned down. And there's someone here right now that's actually mourning. They're dropping roses. So let's go talk to them.
Why you can do this? It's my prayer for the family.
Was this your family member?
I work for United Healthcare for 26 years. And then Brian Thompson, he's the boss, he's the CEO. I don't think he knows me, but sometimes we had a meeting for the town hall meeting. He's there.
What department do you work in at United Healthcare?
In Connecticut, provider specialist.
What can you say about how corrupt they've been and how much denial of care they've done?
I cannot talk about that because I'm just an employee. It's not my part. I have an insurance too, but all my neighbors, they said United Healthcare is the best.
I would really hate if people started going after all of the CEOs of the healthcare company. What's next? Going after oil company CEOs?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We can talk. We can speak.
You think it's sad?
Yeah, I do.
Where are you from?
UK.
Do you have medical bankruptcy in the UK?
No.
We have medical bankruptcy. That's kind of a time-honored American tradition. How do you feel about it, sir?
I think it's kind of fucked up that somebody got shot in the back. Maybe he has a reason.
Well, he wrote deny, defend, depose on the shell casing.
Is that what he wrote?
Yeah. Who's your healthcare provider?
United Healthcare.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you like them?
I haven't used them yet. I don't go to the doctor that often. I mean, do you know how money works? How reinsurers work? And how that all works?
Our lives shouldn't be a for-profit venture. I think healthcare should be socialized. Everyone should have healthcare.
You got to say that capitalism is done.
I could say that.
Capitalism is over because it's based on greed.
You're cooking right now.
I don't think capitalism's working. Maybe a resource-based economy. You ever see the Venus Project? Jacques Fresco, the guy's name. You know,
resource-based economy. I like that.
Kind of what Thomas Jefferson wanted to do. An agrarian. What did he call it?
agrarian. I guess when you talk to people at the murder site, you can have more nuanced conversations about United Healthcare and healthcare in general. I'm in front of the...
What is something you found out late in life that you should have known earlier, but you just didn't?
That rich people be writing off their weddings on their taxes, and so can you. So share and send this video, especially if you a newly.
They just donate everything afterwards, and if you do a historical site, it's considered a donation to the historical site for your wedding. Just donate everything. It's how rich people get away with shit.
He is one of the most well-known streamers on Twitch. He has over 5 million subscribers and streams every day to over 100,000 people, except on Mondays and Fridays. Ladies and gentlemen, Osmond Gold. Come in here, you son of a... Get the fuck out! How the fuck do you have a girlfriend? Hi. He is one of the most well-known streamers.
Our first question comes from Twitter. Can wind turbines cause cancer? This is from President Trump.
I think this is also on YouTube, so I'm going to skip it.
I'm not exactly sure the essence of the question.
Do human beings have tails? Do you have a tail?
You know, I have never met anyone with a tail. I'm not exactly sure the...
Exactly. But fetuses have tails. Kind of proves that at that phase, they are not a human being. They got tails. Humans don't have tails. We're not dinosaurs. Let me even show you a photo, if I may, okay? Do you truly, in your heart of hearts, truly believe that this is a human being? This...
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt?
Yes.
This is a dolphin fetus.
I'm not exactly sure.
My God.
The reason why so many people make fun of Christianity is because y'all can't get y'all fucking rules together. If you got 100 Christians and asked all of them to write down what does it take to get into heaven, they gonna start contradicting each other. What actually qualifies as a sin? They gonna start writing down a bunch of different shit. What parts in the Bible are metaphorical and what parts in the Bible are literal? They gonna start fighting each other. Y'all can't even get y'all fucking shit together. How do y'all expect anybody outside of this to take y'all seriously? Y'all make fun of Christianity so much. Yeah, cause y'all make it so fucking easy. Y'all are also the loudest religion out of all of them. I will be the first one to try to convert somebody to y'all religion and y'all can't even get your fucking laws and shit together. Just loud and fucking confused. Somebody asked me once upon a time, well, why don't you talk about other religions outside of the Abrahamic religions? Because I don't know shit about them. And that is a compliment. That means you're doing shit right. You're making it a personal thing. Those tend to be the religions that don't annoy the fuck out of us with just their presence. Trying to make literally...
Christmas. Jesus loves you. Come visit us. We're really nice here.
Epigenetics is real, and this video was all the confirmation I needed if I didn't already believe in it, because my body immediately was like, get out of Dodge. Unsettled. I don't like it. Ancestors, y'all did y'all thing ingraining this in our genes. I know they say we laugh and run and spread, and that come from y'all, but that reaction immediately was like a signal. It's like, get out. Don't go. It's a trap. That smile, she ain't even believe that. She didn't even believe it. That, ooh, unsettling. Don't y'all take y'all tails down, Nicole, man. Do not listen to them people. Do not listen to them people. I'm sure y'all know.
Christmas. Jesus loves you.
Yikes.
Storytime is something that has really helped me to have more empathy for the MAGA culters, even though I really, really don't want them to win. So I was at a botanical garden with my dad while I was in Houston this past trip, and at the front of the...
Sure, it was wholesome, but I'm not going to archive it, sorry.
I'm not going to lie, TikTok, something pissed me off this morning. It ticked me a little bit. I really, really dislike seeing the words masculine and feminine. Oh, you must enter your feminine. Oh, you must conjure your masculine. Man, you know what I think? I think you should just be you. right? I think that none of that shit really matters. What matters is you being you being authentic. I don't care if you're overly masculine, less masculine, the fucking goddess of femininity itself. I don't care, man.
I grew up in Libya, not to brag, in the city of Benghazi, which I'm sure you've only heard good things about. We're famous for our beautiful beaches and nothing else. And I was driving my car years ago.
6 minutes again, but it's a funny story about how he was kidnapped and then they were like trying to be nice to him.
One of my very Catholic cousins asked me, Danny, does it bother you at all that Paul's letter to the Corinthians says you're not supposed to be queer? And I was like, no. I'm not a Corinthian. Like, why are you reading other people's mail? And then obeying it. And why is Paul writing letters to entire cultures of people? If your grandma did that, you'd put her somewhere, man. Hey, Graham, what are you doing? I'm just telling the Japanese not to be gay. One of my very
If you will take a walk with me, I will show you what may be the best presidential answer in history, and demonstrates why Kamala Harris may become one of.
She didn't win. It's a pretty good answer. She's good at responding emotionally and to the actual answer.
Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start.
Alright, his name's up there. We heard a good part of the song. Sorry, I'm trying to archive a lot here.
You're an atheist, right? Is that right?
I don't use the title because if I said it, people then assume things about me to be true that are not. Okay. And so I realize I have to put some distance between me. But I find myself unconvinced by any God that has been described to me as being in charge of anything.
So how do you think we all got here? How did it all start?
I hate Piers Morgan.
Probably Benjamin Harrison. What they won't tell you is that billions and billions of dollars are being profited by the healthcare system while we are drinking at this party. You know what I mean? Billions.
What's your favorite thing about the fact that I am non-binary today?
That I can call you anything I want.
Like what?
Like a loser.
What's your favorite thing about the fact that I am non-binary today?
Okay.
You only want my love.
There's a lot in here, just green screens I use to make One Piece memes, but yeah, TikTok's get delayed, so I dropped off of that, but we'll repost them all on here and then keep that up.
I'm the only customer where you always polishing the glass. Trick of the trade. Makes people nervous when a bartender just stands there. So lay some bartender wisdom on me. I'm lost in space here. You're not where you want to be. You feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else. You said it. Well, say you could snap your fingers and be wherever you wanted to be. I bet you'd still feel this way, not in the right place. Point is, you can't get so hung up on where you'd rather be that you forget how to make the most of where you are. What are you telling me? Take a break from worrying about what you can't control. Live a little. Live a little. I'm your only cousin.
What you did after hearing that was not okay, though.
Remember old dude from 2019? Nice clean nigga did me dirtier than laundry. Took a scroll through his IG just to get a DM from his wife. What the fuck? I was so confused. What should she do? She didn't know about me and I didn't know about Sue. I opened up the messages and had to hit the Zoom. Turns out the girl was really a dude. Nigga think he slick back till I slip back. Got my lick back, turned a nigga to a knick-knack. I moved on, dropped a couple of songs, and then I went and got signed. Now it's 2021.
Hey! Okay, I just feel like this is a perfect opportunity for us just to unpack what's happened here. I mean, you said that
This is reviewing my Tinder matches as a 30-year-old single male. I'm just looking for love. This is part 11. I'm losing hope. Anyways, I matched with Morgan and I said, I'm off 3 blue chews trying to measure the square footage of that box. It is what it is. Alright, so next up was Jess. She was alright. I said, what you gonna do for this 40 ball? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? She will respond for sure. Alright, next up, I'm off 3 Ambien and a Fortnite chug jug looking for one-shots in my area.
This dude's fucking
Just
hilarious.
move on. I had to check real quick if the meta was still Crip. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's working anymore. I'm like 3 for 17 with the Crip. Let me know. This one was kind of crazy, but you'd be surprised. So obviously I said, I'm off 32 triple C's, a half a block of cheese, and a Percocet looking for a girl to butter my dog. No response. I just been back with the Hat Man says you're fire. We can just move on from that. Alright, next up, not proud of this one, but ultimately I think it'll be effective. I said, what algorithms do you currently use to track the trajectory and speed of that shit cannon? Don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Then we had Jen. I said, baby girl, let me show you how to properly administer the Douglas technique. Not bad. She's probably at work or something. I guess we could wrap it up here. I said, come here, Blue Top. I want to see how that monkey responds to stimuli. Probably one of my better ones. She did respond really quick, but of course, you know the rules. If she responds to stuff like that, who knows what exactly she's liable to do. Okay, so just when I was about to post this video, she responded. We got a response, and from Kiri, she said, most incomprehensible message I've ever seen sent on here, but as a Benadryl enthusiast, that's exciting about the Hat Man. Go ahead and put the rules in the bag. I'm not having that type of negativity. That was perfectly coherent. This is reviewing my Tinder matches as a 30.
I love that.
You know the rumor about Destiny hooking up?
Destiny and Nick Fuentes were totally slurping their chug jugs.
Wow, I haven't stubbed my toe in 5 months, I said with joys. I was then shot 57 times.
Fast forward me 2023. I'm stacking.
Great performance at Jimmy Fallon.
When you look at my house, what do you picture my house like being?
Millennial gray.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Come on.
Wait, yo. What?
We clocked it so hard.
Why is it called millennial gray?
Because no one likes it anymore.
Yeah, and it's also very basic.
No one likes it anymore?
No, I don't know how to tell you that.
Do you not like it?
Like,
it's giving
what?
starter home.
No, it's not giving.
This is why interventions don't work.
My
Sometimes
gray.
they just say no.
I love my gray, and I have white cabinets.
Yes, do they have black handles?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
You got one of those dumb modern tubs that look like it's like this.
Oh yeah.
A freestanding one?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
How do you know this?
That's hilarious.
I never seen God's eyes, but I seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth.
Bro, that shit's buns. That shit's booty.
duty buns, bro. That shit, I can't even properly verbalize how dog water that shit is, bro. It's almost insulting to veterans how dog water.
My resolution for next year is to lack self-awareness and critical thought. No more of that. The people who lack all of that, they're having a blast.
Hell yeah.
And I want to be one of those people.
Hell yeah.
I want to be where the people are. I want to have a brain with no ridges. My resolution.
Why do Ariana Grande and Cynthia look like this? This is.
Yeah, I was in that rabbit hole.
Will they certainly call it the Siberian Orchestra? Will they certainly don't call it the Siberian Orchestra?
That's good.
Let's not forget, September 11th, looks like you had a pretty epic day, 421 minutes. That's like a whole workday of music.
Well, 7 hours straight. I wonder, were you at home, at the gym, on a road trip? What was the occasion?
Whatever it was, it sounds like you had the perfect soundtrack. Now, speaking of soundtrack...
Love a good, where were you on 9/11?
A guy told me a couple months ago on the internet. He replied to me, and he had 17 followers on Twitter, and he decided he wanted to go toe to toe with me. And he said, I don't know about the rest of you guys, trying to rally other people in the comments. Never gonna happen. He goes, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but this guy looks to me like he broke into a bakery and ate all the pies. And I went, it's so soft. I mean, I'm like, you're so far out of your league. I wanted to reply and be like, okay, the gun. You're soft. Ate all the pies like an 18th century limerick. I will kill you to death with a gun. Like, you're not.
I'll literally murder.
It's not fair. It's child's play for you in the sandbox. I'm at the gun store.
That's so funny. It looks like this guy broke in and ate all.
Looks like this guy broke in and ate all the pies. I'm gonna have sex with your father. Why don't you break your mouth into my you loser. Broke into a bakery and ate all the pies. I'm sick. And he thought he was William Shakespeare.
He's like, anyone else?
And anyone else. Everyone in the replies to my is my fans.
I'm like, hey, you're in the wrong neighborhood, bitch. You're gonna get jumped.
Roll the windows up and lock the doors. Because there are hundreds of thousands of mentally ill baristas that are ready to mobilize whenever I say the word. Okay? Girls that were, if they're not at the Boy Genius concert, they're at my mentions. And they will fight you.
Men will never really know you and they'll hurt you, but women will know you deeply and then they'll hurt you. You tell me.
Are we even afraid of the end of the world anymore? Everything's screwed up and nothing in all of the stores are the scariest things we can think of already at our doors. We got worked up for a while, but then we got bored. I guess that there's still the bomb. We haven't been here that long. I'd like it better if we all didn't die. Couple more legs of pro as we take in the show. Will we know when we're all out?
Yeah, there's it's been depressing times, you know. Oh my.
My favorite war ever is the Vietnam War, because it remains to be the only war with a soundtrack. No other wars had a soundtrack, and not only did it have a soundtrack, it was a banger. Let's bring back soundtracks for wars. My favorite war ever.
The more obscure a philosophy gets, the more it will provoke you. This is
I gotta go down this rabbit hole one day. I like this guy a lot. Mr. Amazing.
So for the longest time, everyone thought that 3435 was obviously going to be.
Yeah, we missed that, Ariana. That was baddie.
So for the.
What kind of music do you like?
Oh, okay. And the interview part too.
No, I gotta make a beat for you.
Oh, okay.
So I would say, like, if you.
Jetline, the lyrical, apex, imperial, fireballs, mercurial. Can I get some piano?
Absolutely, bro.
Working on a landmark, fierce like a sand shark. Hit my lady deep in an explicit body part. Know what I'm saying? Hot damn, we loyal. Like some kitchen, fry, cook, and boil. A supplemental package, loftier than average. No rap for murderous cops, they're maggots. Fame gonna snatch it. Publicity and history attach it. Fantastic, stretch it like elastic. Boom, bada bing, ka-ching, receive money. Avoided for my thoughts, bank notes, full tummy. Hip hop, for the mature-minded listener. Available for live shows, hire me, I'll hit ya. Born in the 60s when rap wasn't thought about. In the 21st century, now all they talk about. Yo, up on the mic, the old heads still make bread, long green to paint the town red. Say check it, flex it, witness how I wreck it. A must with the bum rush, must respect it. Check it, flex it, witness how we wreck it. A must with the bum rush, must respect it. Say hell yeah.
Say hell yeah.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. You don't understand this bullshit I'm saying? Start walking it out. Hands in the air. Time to do a...
What kind of music do you like?
I don't bring
Dude's
shit
awesome.
to the table, bitch. I don't even have the fucking table. Where is the fucking table? I don't even have the fucking table, bitch. I don't bring shit to the... Where's the table? Where are we? Where are we? Where is the food at? Am I trapped in your basement right now? I don't bring shit to the table, bitch. There's no table. We're trapped. The table is in your mind. I have nothing to bring to the table. I'm here with you. I am the table. I'm the plate. I don't.
Honestly, unironically deep.
So, in a twist that will surprise no one, I really like BreadTube and video essayists. One of my favorites is Folding Ideas. And in his video, The Nostalgia Critic and the Wall, what he's about to say once I push play is a criticism of Doug Walker the Human that is so scathing. It has genuinely shaped the way I interact with both the art I consume and create to ensure I can never be described like this. Are you ready?
Doug wants to be a filmmaker. He wants to make art, but he can't because he's a fundamentally incurious person who isn't much interested in what other people think or feel, and all his ideas boil down to, what if Batman meant Mario?
It's so fucked.
It's the Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
I believe that God told me that my wife was here. And, yeah, so whoever was planning on approaching me tonight, yeah, I'm ready. If you're ready to get married, I'm ready. I got a ring earlier today at JCPenney. Again, when you have the gift of faith and the gift of working in miracles, it makes you believe that all things are possible to him that believes.
Jesus. Fuck.
10 minutes into knowing that he was a wizard, Harry Potter is just like given the wizard equivalent of a gun, and they're like, oh yeah, we all have guns. The only way that you can have one is if it chooses you. And the way to do that is to just wave it and see what happens. Like the equivalent of just like, oh yeah, just try shooting and see what happens. And then, on top of it already being a wild selection process, then the man who is selling Harry this gun is just like, oh yeah, by the way, very interesting that this one would choose you. This gun is the exact same type of gun that was used to kill your parents. So.
Fucking voices in my head talking shit about me like I'm not even there. Fuckers.
Please don't shoot. I'll do anything.
Yeah? Give me a fun fact about Aladdin.
What? Why?
Because Aladdin came out 32 years ago this week, but I'm not giving you fun facts. You start giving me fun facts.
The letters in Agrabah also spell Baghdad?
Basic.
Aladdin is Chinese?
You just said he's from Baghdad.
Yeah, but in the original French translation.
Original French? Now I know you're lying. Aladdin is from a collection of Middle Eastern stories known as 1001 Nights.
No, I mean, yes, it comes from a French translation of 1001 Nights where Aladdin is Chinese.
The guy's name is Al-Adim, and he rubs a genie out of a lamp. You're trying to tell me he's Chinese?
I know it doesn't really make any sense, but we don't have an Arabic version from before the French translation. The translator probably wrote it himself based on his conversations with the Syrian guy.
No! Aladdin is not made up. That is not fun! I said fun! Give me fun!
It's turned into a stage play!
Lots of stories are turned into stage plays!
You know that from the Kung Fu fighting song? That riff comes from Aladdin.
That's kind of crazy. But not as crazy as me. Give me another.
Abraham Lincoln was getting shot in Ford's Theater while his son was in a different theater watching Aladdin. The manager had to come up and stop the production to tell everybody that the president had been shot.
Holy shit. The president has been shot. Yeah, that's great. You can live.
I can't tell you guys how long I've been waiting to introduce you guys. So Destiny, meet Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, Destiny. Now I know you guys are on the opposite end of the political spectrum, but I think if you guys are respectful to each other, who knows? Maybe one day you guys will be able to make some content, maybe even get close. Dude, somebody sent me a video of Destiny and Nick. Apparently they finally made content together. I always knew that they were gonna be friends, dude.
Here's the problem. Okay, the way that you're running this, I can already tell is shit. Okay? People do what they want around here.
No,
they
listen to me.
These people
They have to go. No, the house.
Yeah, there's a lot of people down there just fucking around.
But they have to. Watch this. You're fired. I want you to get off the walkie, and I want you to give it to somebody else that's capable of doing this fucking job. You hear me? 'Cause it's not you. Huh? Here's the problem. Okay, the way that you're running
That's hilarious.
I can already.
The most widely read text in American philosophy was written in part because this guy was just depressed. His text did 4 major things that changed how everyone in America and Europe thought about philosophy for the next century. But despite that, he was trained as a doctor and went to South America to study its flora and fauna. His name was William James. He was racked with a horrible fear of existence, later writing that he could sometimes bedrot for hours at a time, till he meets this guy, C.S. Peirce, arguably America's greatest philosopher, but that's a story for another time. Peirce has this idea that the only meaning of a concept can really be what we do with it in practice. And James takes this idea and runs with it, because practice can get us out of fear. It can give us meaning. It can get us to stop bedrotting, because at the end of the day, we just have to get up. He condenses these ideas into a book based on pragmata, or practices, naming the book Pragmatism, or Pragmatism. The book is a hit because it does 4 major things. First, it introduces the pragmatic method for dissolving every philosophical problem based on an appeal to concepts' consequences for practice. James illustrates the method by taking apart this metaphysical problem of a man and a squirrel. A man is trying to run around a squirrel who is exactly opposite him on a tree. Every time he tries to run around, the squirrel runs around the tree at the exact same rate. So at every moment, the squirrel and the man are always opposite each other. The problem is thus, does the man ever run around the squirrel? To answer this question, we have to appeal to the practical meaning of our words. Are we asking about north, south, east, and west, or are we asking, do we actually go around the body of the squirrel?
Yeah, I'm into that kind of technical shit.
Do you have any kids? Yeah.
No, I'm 31.
Are you retired?
No, I'm 65. What?
Do you have any kids? Yeah.
No, I'm 31.
If you download Signal, you can send me those sensitive details.
Switching to the Signal app.
Some of y'all thought it was really crazy that I pointed out that Ted Lasso is just the Wizard of Oz. So here's a few more things you might not have realized were retellings. And like everyone already knows about 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man being based on Shakespeare, or Clueless being based on Emma, but these are some that like you really might not know about. Star Trek Discovery is Alice in Wonderland, and it's alluded to a bunch of times in that first season. Michael is Alice, they literally go through a looking glass. Voke is the White Rabbit, Laurel is the Queen of Hearts, the Tardigrade is the Caterpillar, Lorca's the Mad Hatter, Stamets and Mirror Stamets are Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and Tilly is the Cheshire Cat. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman is the Jungle Book, the original by Kipling, not so much the Disney version. Silas is Bagheera, Jack is the tiger, Nobody is obviously Mowgli. A Bug's Life, yeah, the kids movie. It's literally just Seven Samurai, but for kids and with bugs. The Penderwicks, which I feel like a lot of particularly girls who are really into books read as little kids. It's just Little Women. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, the movie, is The Odyssey, only not really, because it's a retelling based exclusively on retellings. The Coen Brothers.
Most stories are retellings.
Ever since Wicked dropped, this clip has been going crazy. Because what she said 5 years ago proved
what
she just said here inspired millions like I've never seen, myself included. 30,000 comments. And what's crazy is that it's not advice I've never heard before, just never this way.
Are you a lazy piece of shit and don't know how to build discipline and stay productive? This is what helped me to build discipline. For example, going to the gym. Going to the gym is hard, but being ugly is also hard. Just choose your heart.
Some people in the comments were confused why that helped, but she's embodying a trait that, when understood, basically just gives you the keys to your goal. If I could share with you the best example I've ever seen, I really think you'll get the understanding too.
This is an amazing story of wizards and magic and gumdrops and lollipops and friendships and happiness.
This is a death story about death. Death. Death, darkness, gloom, and death is in this story.
This is an amazing...
I will fight for Rome, and I will fight for Rome, and I will fight for Rome.
Yeah, Rome. That's right, y'all. That Rome, if you want to, roam around the world, and Rome is where the heart is. That's what I thought we said. British accent. Are we not?
If you ask a coworker how they're doing and they say living the dream, be nice to them because they're actually thinking about killing themselves. If you ask,
hilarious.
Yo, Al, come here. What? Tell him what you just told me. I watch streamers live. Yeah, no, so do I. Like clips, right? No, I sit there and watch most of the stream live as it's happening. You guys exist? That's what I said. Yo, Al, come here. What? Tell him what you just told me. I watch streamers live.
This is almost embarrassing. We was sitting here and we just realized we've got "eat cock" on our wall. And the word yum right beside of it. So somebody here eat some yummy cock.
If you have some nice speakers at home, please play this out loud. It's meant to be played out loud, not just in your earphones. From Sunset Roller Coaster and Hyoko, they did a collaborative album together. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, I want to play this song loud on a good sound system. I bet it's going to sound amazing. And it does. Where the guitar comes in, the swirling guitar, it absolutely lifted the room, in my opinion. If you have some nice speakers at home, please play this.
I could fucking...
Sir?
Goosebumps.
Hey, darling, you're sitting in front of the ghost of television past. This old man, he used to be an institution, now he needs one.
If you want my comeback, you're gonna have to scrape it off the back of your mom's teeth.
Jesus.
You're gonna laugh at that?
Listen, sweetheart, there's plenty more where that came from.
God.
Oh, do I have your attention? I have 2 stars on the Walk of Fame. Oh yeah, who gives a shit? I once held 97% of America's television viewing audience. That's not what they're gonna remember. They're gonna remember Mr. Television. Their uncle.
You think spending time with her, kissing her, having fun with her, you think that's what it was all about?
That was love. This is love, missing her because she's gone, wanting to die. You're so lucky. You're like a walking poem. Would you rather be some kind of a fantasy, some kind of a Disney ride? Is that what you want? Don't you see, this is the good part. This is what you've been digging for all this time. Now you finally have it in your hand, this sweet nugget of love. Sweet, sad love, and you want to throw it away. You've got it all wrong.
I thought this was the bad part.
No! The bad part is when you forget her, when you don't care about her, when you don't care about anything. The bad part is coming, so enjoy the heartbreak while you can. You think
I don't know if you've ever been in love, but that shit hits.
I love metacognition too, and I think what we're learning, you know, there are these studies that show kind of the body starts moving in action before the thought occurs. And so, you know, studying the primordial mind, which is this parallel way of kind of interpreting the world and meeting our survival needs and achieving homeostasis, that isn't based in cognitive thought, right? It's kind of, I always imagine it as like all of the ways the human being evolved prior to cognitive thought kind of supposedly taking over. But I think what we're learning is, I think cognitive thought is actually just providing a narrative for what we're already doing according to our programming. That, you know, the Robert Sapolsky stuff on free will, there's all sorts of suggestions that the kind of tyranny of cognitive thought, or the primacy of cognitive thought in our behavior, in our actions, and in our thoughts is maybe a bit overrated, and that we're still at root animals. You know, kind of responding to our primordial mind, responding to our subconscious, and the conscious thought kind of just fills in the blank and kind of provides a narrative. It's also driven by our kind of mind-body connection, which we would call the nervous system, and achieving at what Damasio calls the homeostatic imperative, that all kind of, you know, consciousness, at least intentional consciousness, is designed or
I don't want to cry on this.
Oh, I'm just getting some fresh air. Hi, man, how was it? Not good. I don't know why I keep going out there. Hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm just getting some fresh air.
Every guy has a strange urge to bleed to death in an area like this, and if you say you don't, you're lying. Like, I mean, you cannot not say that you don't want to run down this bleeding to death trying to save your wife and kids or some shit. Like, imagine how cinematic you would feel. Like, lean against a rock. You're like, now's my time. Every guy has a strange urge to bleed to...
So real. I'm not even gonna fucking...
So this is where we at now, huh? This is where we at now. Y'all talking about if you ain't got a staff, you're not a real wizard. You're not a real wizard if you carry a wand. You only an apprentice. When did the staff determine your arcane level? When did the staff do all the work? When did the staff do the studying? And niggas talk about oh, maybe you just don't got enough coin for it. You hear it. You hear it. There's no silver in there. There's no copper in there. You won't catch me with that. It is nothing but gold. Look at me. Look at me. Hold on. I'm swift with it and I'm drift with it, okay? Boom. It's that fast. It's that fast. While you lugging around this big-ass staff this whole time, well, look at me. I'm straight to it. Oh, where your staff at? Where your staff at? You know where my staff is at? It's at your mama's village. You know where my staff is at? It's in your maiden's mouth. That's where...
Hi, I'm Cactus, and here are some obscure fun facts about animation history you may not know. When The Land Before Time hit theaters in 1988, it so thoroughly beat Disney's Oliver and Company that it forced Disney to go back to the drawing board and literally rethink their entire strategy for how they were making movies at the time. The end result was the release of Little Mermaid the very next year and the start of the Disney Renaissance, one of the most successful periods of animation history. With the release of its second and final season, Arcane is officially the single most expensive animated television series ever created at $250 million. No, it's not close. In fact, the total production value of this series is about $100 million more than the average Disney animated movie. Throughout its history, Disney has actually rejected the ideas of two specific animators so heavily that those animators went on to make their own movies and do better than Disney.
Have you ever heard someone say that T-Rex lived closer to now than it lived to the time of Stegosaurus and Brontosaurus? Because that's true, and I have some more for you. You've probably also heard somebody say on the internet that sharks are older than the rings of Saturn. That's technically true, but it massively oversells the age of the rings of Saturn and or undersells the age of sharks. Mammals are older than the rings of Saturn. Sharks are older than trees. Also, by the time T-Rex evolved, birds had already existed for longer than primates have existed now. We like to think our own species is pretty hot shit, but even within our own genus, the species Erectus existed 10 times longer than Sapiens has, and even the 2 million year existence of Homo erectus is barely an instant on the clock of geology. So this is your periodic reminder that the history of the Earth is deeper than you can possibly fathom, and from the perspective of the Earth-human civilization and even humanity itself is not an era. We are an event.
Love that. Makes me feel and think so many things. And I feel so humble. Moving on.
Did you know that Zion National Park in southern Utah is home to one of the most famous and most dangerous day hikes in all of the United
Wild fucking
States? This is Angel's Landing. Angel's Landing is arguably the most famous feature in one of the most famous
is wild. Scary.
Someone is still telling jokes they learned from you. Someone is still using the phrases and words you used. Someone is still listening to the music you've showed them. Someone still smiles when they remember a moment with you. Someone is still encouraged by the advice you gave them. Someone admires you from afar and is inspired by you. Someone learned how to love from you. They go about their lives, maybe without realizing how much of you they've kept with them. It's there, and how they handle things differently, in small choices they make, or in the way they see things a bit clearer. You might just be a memory on the surface, but underneath, there's more. You've become part of who they are, shaping them in ways that might seem small, but matter deeply. And while they may not say it, they're grateful for it. You made a mark that lasts.
I don't even have to fucking speak. I felt that for so long, but I feel like this isn't about me commentating. I'm just archiving TikToks.
I'm just walking over to the gas station. There's a bunny. Well, first off, here's a kitty. But look, there's a bunny and a kitty just playing in the middle of the street. Cute as shit. Oh, what's up, fella? Are you gonna fuck the cat? Don't do it. I think he wants to. Oh, he for sure does. He is. This bunny is fucking this cat. What type of Greenwood shit is this? Wow. Do I stop him? What the fuck?
Isn't it strange how so many versions of you live in other people's minds? To some, you're the quiet one who never speaks. To others, you're the loud one who never stops talking. Some see you as distant and hard to know, while others think you're the most caring person they've met. But none of these versions are the real you. They're just pieces shaped by how people see the world, not by who you really are. Even the person you believe yourself to be only exists for yourself, one that lives only in your mind, built from your own memories, your worries, and your dreams. Perhaps who you are isn't meant to be defined, but discovered moment by moment in the way you choose to live. But you're not defined by the fragments others see or even the image you hold of yourself. You're the choices you make, the love you give, and the life you create. Maybe being undefinable is the most human thing of all.
Dude, they slap. They slap. I'm sad now.
I don't know if y'all heard me and my brother, we create mini comics. We tell you about them. You have a good one. They're mini comic books. I can tell you about them. Sunglasses. Woman. She's a woman. Woman. I didn't say it like that. I was like, woman. That's pretty much how you said it. No, I didn't say it aggressively. At least I didn't mean for it to be aggressive. I was like, woman, because you said man. Did you say man? What did I say, man?
Cut this off here and go good buddy for.
I hate who I am when I'm thinking, and I hate who I am when I'm drinking. When I'm drinking, it stops me from thinking that I have been singing.
I'm on some dumb shit. By the way, what he say? He can tell I ain't missing no meals. Come through and fuck him in my automobile. Let him eat it with his grills. He keep telling me to chill. He keep telling me it's real that he love my sex appeal. That he don't like I'm bony. He wants something he can grab. I'm on some dumb shit. By the way.
Absolutely hilarious.
My girl's not home. You know what that means. Big light. Just 'cause I can. My girl's
chaos.
If you've ever dreamed of living la dolce vita, the sweet life, this is for you. The Italian village of Ololai is offering $1 homes to Americans who maybe want to get out of Dodge. Ololai is on the island of Sardinia. It has been trying to persuade outsiders to move there after decades of depopulation. While anyone can apply, the village mayor says U.S. citizens will be favored over other applicants.
Wow. I hope that's true. I might do that. Live animals, though.
What was going through your mind when you did that jumping side kick? Looked like you were aiming for Thiago Santos's knee.
Oh man. Well, you know, my coach teaches us to be malicious. This is combat. And at the end of the day, I mean, Thiago was trying to break my jaw tonight. He was trying to give me brain damage tonight. He was trying to, you know, take some years off my brain. And so this is a very malicious game. And if a guy can give you a stutter for the rest of your life or memory loss, I think an even trade-off is to give him a limp for the rest of his life.
I'm crying. There's aliens in there? Throw another bomb.
Yeah, we'll watch this.
Live actions just never work. The animated version is always better. You don't fucking count. You don't fucking count. You absolute masterpiece. And sequels are just never as good. Like, it's the first one's always the best movie, and like the sequel's never, like this never as good as the first one. You don't count. You don't fucking count. Oh, you're fucking fantastic. You're fucking fantastic. Live action.
Alright, so let me explain some things that might help you understand why the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul match went the way it did.
Yeah.
When I
俺も一個だけ聞きてんだけど、一つだけの代表、ワンピースってのは本当に最高。宝がどこにあるかなんて聞きたくねえ。宝があるかないかだって聞きたくねえ。何もわかんねえけど、みんなそうやって命がけで海へ出てんだよ。ここでおっさんから何か教えてもらうんなら。
You're going to watch this video and you're going to wonder to yourself, why wasn't this taught in school? Today, let's talk about one of the most awe-inspiring groups I have ever come across and learned about, the Lakota.
Is this fucked story? They get fucked over again and again by white people, and then they just decide to be, the white people decided to be extra disrespectful and carve white men's faces into the side of a mountain like they considered a holy place. Is absolutely beautiful geography. It is Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I just.
What is your idea?
Well, first up, can I just say it's charming that I'm here with you. You're very tall.
Amazing. Thank you.
And I'm talking to a stalk of broccoli. Yes, this isn't so much as an idea as I was on Star Trek. I played Dr. Phil Phlox on Star Trek Enterprise. And one of the things that I've been doing for a long time is something called Trektivism, which is basically taking certain activist principles about engaging in your community and doing kind things in the world based on Star Trek principles. One of them being infinite diversity and infinite combinations, and two, based on empiricism. Don't let religion blind you to what's really going on. Let facts and science lead the way. So for what it's worth in this difficult age, I would only encourage you to identify what your activist bliss is, get involved in your community, don't give up or surrender your right to be a full, active citizen in the world, live passionately. I'm not necessarily a Star Trek fan myself, ironically, but the principles of Star Trek, the idea that we can all come together, build coalitions, imagine a better future for us all if we put away strife and anxiety and rancor, that I'm all for. Thank you.
What is your idea?
Well, first off,
Donald Trump. You've never seen him laugh.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's a full-on narcissist.
Holy shit.
You've never seen him laugh.
Never.
This is the problem with narcissists. As Neil Brennan, my very good friend, very wisely said, they have the disease, you have the symptoms.
Yeah.
Donald Trump. You've never seen him laugh.
Yeah.
Pronouns, I'm that nigga and that bitch is getting sticky, bitches getting sticky.
315 million years ago, the Earth looked like Yoshi, eating a chicken nugget. That's why the places that we today call New Mexico and Colorado are so often referred to as ancient Yoshi Nugget Land by me, to myself when I'm alone. I also love daydreaming about this place. I call it Never Eat Soggy Waffles Alone Point. Can you tell what makes it special? That's right, never eat soggy waffles. This is the only point on Earth's surface that you can go to from which no one will be permanently living directly to your north, east, south, or west. I also want to talk about Earth's Hedberg points. No international court has ever recognized them because I just made them up yesterday. They're based on a joke that the late Mitch Hedberg used to tell. In the joke, he describes buying a map to put on his wall so he can stick a pin in all the locations he visits. Unfortunately, he laments, he's going to have to visit the top 2 corners of the map first so it doesn't fall down. Well, Mitch, R.I.P. this. If you want to use 2 pins to stick a typical cylindrical map projection onto your wall in the usual way, these are the 2 places you'll have to visit first. And I think, Mitch, we should name them after you. 315 million years ago, the Earth looked like Yoshi, eating a chicken nugget. That's why the places that we today call New Mexico and Colorado are so often referred to as ancient Yoshi Nugget Land by me, to myself when I'm alone. I also love daydreaming about this place. I call it Never Eat Soggy Waffles Alone Point. Can you tell what makes it special? That's right, never eat soggy waffles. This is the only point on Earth's surface that you can go to from which no one will be permanently living directly to your north, east,
No, it's too early in the day for that.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's too early in the day for that.
Oh, dude, it's not one of those cars. You don't know for sure.
A simple push to a hook can do so much. More specifically, a push to a hook to a run. Okay, people ask me all the time how to keep yourself safe in a fight. One of the best things you can do is just learn cardio and run. One of the best things I always say you can do is practice 1 or 2 punches or kicks so you can hit somebody with those and then fucking get out of there and book it as fast as you can. It's just not worth getting into a fight in general. But let's say we're in this situation. First thing I can't let you do, like Chael Sonnen said, is let you get close. So I'm going to keep the distance, right? No, back up, back up. Okay, we always do a 2-handed push. To be able to push properly and hard, we take 1 foot, we lift it up, almost like we're going to do a kick. We slam it down and push at the same exact time. Now, if they still want to continue to push back into us, that's when we're going to push, duck over, get our body off the center line, right? So we push over. Now, they might be coming and pushing here after that, and that's when we come up to a hook. So it'll look something like this. Push, hook, bop. A simple push to a hook can do so much.
So, Todd thinks you give pretty good advice. And great tea.
The key to both is proper aging. It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole. Life happens wherever you are, whether you make it or not. Perfection and power are overrated. I think you are very wise to choose happiness and love. You must let go of your feelings of shame if you want your anger to go away.
But I don't feel any shame at all. I'm as proud as ever.
Principle. Pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame.
Why everything nowadays gotta be an agenda? Pushing things on me I don't wanna see. I remember days when creative people were creative and didn't surrender to the conglomerates that pimped them. Oh, now we get conscious norm. Hell yeah, we are. I got the left telling me that I took it too far. I got the right wing telling me I ain't up to par. But I'm from the hood, nigga. We don't really golf at all. We play ball, we rap, we stay up in the trap, we sell dope. Matter of fact, come get you a pack. I got war wounds and they all from the trenches, y'all. Before
may I cut in?
Why, certainly.
Boys will be boys. Woo!
Woo! Oh, what'd I do?
I will slice you up. That's the way they raised me to be. What the church taught you, what the church taught me, that we are made to drudge through this hell on earth for the sins of the Father, who lovingly, that's the key word here, lovingly, second key word, sacrificed his only lit up child for your sins, which still exist and for which you still go to judgment for alone. It is the largest fucking scam you will ever hear in all of human history.
It's a little bit different than what you said right there.
Oh, it's exactly what the church taught us. This is a blood religion where the dead come back to life. What other lure in the human cycle has exactly the same recipe? Vampirism.
No.
It's exactly the same. All of it is.
So Jesus was...
Surrender your redemption to them. That is vampirism. You don't really...
All right, too many of you don't know what the party switch is, so I'm going to explain this to you pretty we're right? You see, when we're talking about the party switch, we're referring to the fundamental swap of values between the two major political parties within the United States, the Democrats and the Republicans, right? Now, this didn't happen in a day or a week or a year. It happened over almost a fucking century, starting in the 1890s. But in order to fully understand this, we're going to have to go back in time. You see, the Republican Party, it's founded in 1854. Before the Republican Party is founded, there's really only two major parties in the United States. There's the Democratic Party, who's got most of their traction in the southern states, and the Whigs, who've got pretty much no fucking traction, but only in the north, right? So 1854, the Republican Party comes to fruition, and they're gaining a lot of traction in the north, right? And they end up electing Abraham Lincoln. And immediately, the southern states, they fucking secede out of fear that Abraham Lincoln is going to abolish slavery. Guess what, Jack? He fucking does. He wins the Civil War, right? And now, right after the Civil War, the two identities are pretty much established. The Republican Party, spearheaded by Abraham Lincoln, is going to be the anti-slavery party of the North. And the Democratic Party is going to be the pro-slavery party of the South. I get it. It's confusing, but we're going to talk about how things switched. Now, you start to see the beginning of the swap happen during the Progressive Era, beginning in 1890, going to 1920. What is the Progressive Era? Well, it's in the fucking name. It's when both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, started to adopt more progressive policies. Now, granted, they weren't as progressive as they are today, but they were basic things like women's suffrage, civil rights, support for labor unions, shit like that. Now, that wasn't really a problem in these northern Republican industrial cities because, they were all about work. But in these southern rural Jim Crow states, they did have a problem with women's suffrage. So you start to see a wedge be driven into these democratic states, right? And then after the Progressive Era, after the 1920s, the Great Depression fucking devastates the United States. And that happens under Republican leadership. So millions of Americans, they flock from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, including millions of African Americans. And who wins the election after the Great Depression? It's FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And he comes up with a plan to save America for this Great Depression. It's called the New Deal, right? You heard of the New Deal. It's going to build a national highway system and employ millions of Americans on it and put them in factories for the military-industrial complex and all this shit, right? Now, this democratic coalition of workers included millions of African Americans as well as millions of Southern white laborers, right? Now, that, again, wasn't the problem for these industrial cities, but it was a problem for these, you know, Jim Crow, historically pro-slavery people, right? So now you're starting to see that wedge from earlier be really driven in even deeper. Now, after World War II, you start to see the groundwork for the swap really kick in, right? After World War II, it's like the civil rights era is really kicking in. You start to see like landmark civil rights cases like Brown versus Board of Education. Segregation is deemed unconstitutional, right? And the Democratic Southern voters, a lot of them can't even identify as Democrats anymore. They don't even fucking believe in it, so they come up with their own term called Dixiecrats, which essentially means that they believe in, you know, the democratic economic values, but they also believe in the old segregation, Jim Crow laws of old Dixieland. You know, it's a weird.
We'll go into it later. Oh my gosh. Love this. Feeling the document right now.
So you know how Donald Trump received over 60% of the Latino vote? Well, Stephen Miller, who was in the Trump administration the first time and is going to be in it again, just openly admitted that it's not just illegal immigrants they're after. They're starting a denaturalization project under Donald Trump. In 2025, expect it to be turbocharged. What does that mean? Denaturalization means taking away your citizenship status.
Jesus bless. Jesus, God bless. God bless. Hey, God and Jesus bless. Jesus, hey, God and bless. Jesus bless. And that's for and that one's for Jesus, my man. Hey, whoa. Our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be come in them again. I have it by memory. I actually have it down by memory. I say it a lot. Yeah.
Enter at your own peril, past the vaulted door where impossible things may happen that the world never seen before.
In Dexter's laboratory lives the smartest boy you've ever seen. But Didi blows his experiments to smithereens. There is gloom and doom while things go boom in Dexter's lab.
So good.
Now, okay, be honest. Did you have slaves when you were in India? How many slaves did you have? Yeah, but yeah, everyone has slaves in India. Did you guys know this? My mom brags about how many slaves she used to have back in the day. I didn't know that. They call them servants, but come on. So I was staying at this friend's house. She had 2-bedroom house. She had 4 slaves. She had more slaves than she had rooms in her fucking condo. And this is the worst part about slavery, is that they're always around. I couldn't go anywhere. Why is everyone tightening up right now? I don't have slaves. India has slaves. Tell them. No, it's crazy. I think I couldn't read. I was in the living room. There's just a slave staring at me with her big slave eyes. It's like, Jesus Christ. I just gave her assignments to get her out of the house. I was like, go get milk from the other side of town. You guys are all tightening up so hard right now. This isn't America slaves. This is India on India slaves. All right. I don't think I'm going to win you back on this, but listen, I'm against race-based slavery. I think we should do what Dr. King says. I think we should choose our slaves not on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character. Like, if they're shitty people, make them slaves. Why not? That didn't work. That's okay. I thought you guys would get it. Yeah? All right. No.
Has anyone figured out how to ask neurotypicals clarifying questions without them thinking we're debating them or arguing? Just wondering. Has anyone figured out how to ask?
I have yet to figure that one out.
I'm sorry!
Act like nothing's wrong.
I don't want to talk politics. I'm not talking politics. I'm talking to the president. That's different. That's a different thing. I think that's interesting, right? That some people are president sometimes. And then everyone else isn't forever. Like, I think that's an interesting... That's an interesting dichotomy, if that's what that word means. But I was watching an interview once with Bernie Sanders, and he's one of these forever not president people. I don't know if you guys noticed. He was being asked what he thought about a certain group of people who think that there should be competency tests for anyone running for president over a certain age. And Bernie Sanders said that was ageist. And I was watching this interview and I was like, wait, are we not doing competency tests? For anyone running for president? Is there not a president test? There should be a president. There needs to be a president. You know.
Spend some time away.
Anda jugando, cabrón. Este es alta gama, nuevo rico. Ruleteando Nuevo York, cheque en el cuadro, plumas, firmas que traemos, buen power, son de Sonora, las plebitas. Anda jugando, cabrón.
This is wild.
Este es alta gama, nuevo.
Oh my gosh, you like the game too? Yeah, I love team games. Same. Who do you like to play? I just love playing support. See, I never understood why people like to play support. Oh my god, you need heals? Beg. Oh my gosh, you like the game too?
I put so many hours into DayZ. Fucking nightmare to go on. Ooh, peeps.
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
Like this. Oh, these guys.
你们这群丑吧，他们那是怎么样是吧？你们在他面前就是一群丢屎子。军队，你把这个车给我打上来！别上，我尿尿！你错了，俺与世界为敌，你得死啊！谁怕谁呀？罗宾，快说，我叫皇上说。我叫皇上说，现在我也去出海了。走吧。
Thursday, October 31st. The city streets are crowded for the holiday. Even with the rain, hidden in the chaos is the element. Thursday.
What's up? I got bridges for sale. You should buy all of them. Boy, do I have some bridges for sale. So I got bridges for sale. This weekend only? I got bridges for sale. You should buy all of them. See that? It's mine. Hey, I'm selling bridges. You should buy a bridge. I got some bridges for sale. I got some bridges for sale. So I'm selling bridges.
I'm voting for the man that's going to take America back, baby. Donald J. Trump, man.
What's one of your biggest issues?
It's probably going to be inflation, because I sell T-shirts and all that stuff.
Your T-shirts are made in the USA?
No, my blanks, no. See, that's the thing Trump's talking about. If we tax them, hit tariffs, the same item they're making over there will cost the same to make over here.
We pay the tariffs.
Well, the companies pay the tariffs, not us.
China doesn't pay the tariffs. We do when they come in.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Like if I'm buying 1,000 shirts from China and there's a tariff on it, I'm paying the tariff.
Well, no, whoever's getting it imported in is going to pay the tariffs.
Yeah. I'm the business owner. I'm paying the tariff. China doesn't pay it. I pay for it.
Well,
like if I'm the business owner and I buy 1,000 shirts,
I see what you're saying.
China's not Jolly. So I'm trying to explain.
Who pays the tariff? They're paying the tariff.
Do you think that? Do you believe that?
I was trying to say, because I sell merch as well.
I sell you something for $10, right? You're going to sell it to him for $20.
Exactly.
But then I make you pay me $15 for it. Are you still going to sell it to him for $20?
Am I gonna sell it to him for 20?
If I raise the price $5.
Oh, it's gonna have to go up.
Right.
Yeah, the consumer foots the bill. I'm voting for the man that's gonna take America back, baby.
I feel like rural conservatives really get 90% of the way there. Like, they're so fucking close to the right answer. It's actually so fucking painful because if they mostly understand the issue, they really do mostly understand the issue. I truly believe this, that they have most of it down and then they just take a dark turn right at the last minute before they finally come to a logical conclusion. Like, you ask them, what's your biggest issue right now? They say Medicare's not affordable. And you say, oh my God, of course Medicare's not affordable. It's a huge issue. And you say, whose fault is that? And they say the insurance companies, the big pharma, the big banks, they don't care about the common man. Of course, that's a huge fucking issue. And who's in charge of them? These C-suite executives. They don't care about anybody and they don't pay their fair share. This is a huge issue. And what do we do about it? Find the Jews. What? What? Where did that come from? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Or you'll be like, what's the problem right now? Oh, the job market. Absolutely, the job market's horrible. And the minimum wage isn't high enough. Absolutely. Huge problem. And whose fault is that? The immigrants. No. It's not the guys, it's not the immigrants. Where did that come from?
We're family here.
We're gonna end on a Union Pizza. Thank you guys. We're gonna archive more TikToks another day. I gotta study.